This is working through your major assignment, video 1. So you will see on the assessment part of the course website a document that says major assignment. So you are a planner. Actually, I need to change this. Your team are planners. And a landowner has come to you with an idea for a proposed development on a site they own. You're tasked as part of a multidisciplinary team with preparing a preliminary report for the developer of the site, identifying any constraints to the development. The report must include details of the site and any relevant legislation or regulations that need to be addressed. So it's just a preliminary report. The report must conclude with recommendations to go ahead, modify or not proceed with the development based on the information your team has discovered. Your findings, analyses and recommendations will inform the developer's investment decision. The developers come up with 6 hypothetical developments on greenfield sites, and as a team you'll choose one of those to work on. You need to do a desktop assessment of the site, prepare maps and images showing the development and the location of any constraints and any irrelevant data. So the instructions are: find your site. For the project description, you can use Queensland Globe, and with other software you can use any software you like. You can use Queensland Globe, you can use the ABS, you can use ArcGIS, you can use QGIS, whatever, as long as it's neat and well formatted and everything else. You need a map, a basic layout of the site, a location to describe the site's accessibility, and using the planning map, show what plans zone the site is within. I'll go through all of these in detail, by the way, in the next one. Weather and climate information, federal environmental legislation. There may not necessarily be any. This is what the report is required. And these are the developments. These are real sites, but they're not real developments. I just found them on Queensland Globe, and I tried to find things that have got lots of constraints. So none of them have no constraints. There's 3 on the Gold Coast and 3 in Brisbane. And the developments are a sporting facility, boutique townhouses, a large residential subdivision, another sporting facility in the Gold Coast, boutique townhouses and detached housing. So for each of those I've given you a description of something that it may be like. Now it's not going to be like that, but I gave you some description of an example of what the sort of development will be. These are normally quite fun to do, by the way. So for example, for the boutique townhouses, the descriptions are different, but the actual, obviously the lot is different, but the descriptions are identical. So in the one in Melaleuca Mews, in Seven Hills in Brisbane, the developer wants to build 50 townhouses. There'll be a private parkland area, and the development might be like this. Now, your development can look whatever it wants to be like. It's perfectly acceptable to find a development similar to one of these and on the internet and use the plan of that development, as long as it's not too big and as long as it adheres to it. You can draw your own picture. If any of you have done architecture or anything like that, it's perfectly acceptable to do that as well. Obviously, if you do take something off the internet, reference it. And don't take their exact type, just to give you an idea of what the sort of thing that you can do. Anyway, there's 100 townhouses. So read the descriptions properly, because it's really important to read the descriptions. It's really important to go up and read the descriptions of what you have to do. In the first assignment, there were a couple of people who obviously hadn't read the instructions very well. I'm going to go through all of these and do mini tutorials for all of these.